I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I am Francisco Cerundolo, and you are listening to the Games to Love podcast.
Hi, everyone. So welcome to the Game to Love Tennis podcast, the live stream here for the last match of the day at Roland Garros. We have the night match on Saturday, Carlos Alcaraz against KHACHANOV. My name is Megan, and I'll be taking you through this match. Apologies that my stream is a little bit behind the live scoreboard. Got the Eurosport stream, and it's a little bit slow, but I will do my best to take you through this as quickly and as best as I can. So hi to everyone. It's great to see you all, and hope you enjoy the match. So here we go. We have Carlos Alcaraz to serve. And the serve is good down the tee. The return from KHACHANOV is good as well. It's forehand from Alcaraz, backhand from KHACHANOV. Carlos with the inside-out forehand. And then he goes down the line with the forehand. The backhand from KHACHANOV is good, just clears the net. And we're now going backhand to backhand. There's a forehand cross-court from Alcaraz, forehand from KHACHANOV. It's a long rally at the moment, but the forehand from KHACHANOV is wide, and it is 15-love. So, and he's asking why is the match delayed. I'm not sure exactly why it took so long. I mean, the Rafa and Auger-Aliassime match was just on previously, and that went to 5 sets. Spoiler alert: Rafa took it in the 5th, but that's why. So that match ran a little bit later than expected, and so there was a delay in the players coming on court. So here we go. Carlos Alcaraz serving at 15-love. So the serve is good. Is a backhand return from KHACHANOV, forehand from Alcaraz. And it looked like it was long, but it's just about in. We're going forehand to forehand at the moment. Alcaraz with the backhand down the line. And KHACHANOV again, it's a looping ball, but it goes out, and it is 30-love. So, hi, Gary. Yeah, I have heard also about you, and it's great to meet you all. And it's great to see all the regulars and new as well. So, if anybody here is new and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please remember to do that, and also to give us a like because it really helps the podcast to grow and for people to find it. So, it's nice to meet you all, and let's hopefully enjoy this good match. Again, sorry if you've just joined. My stream is a little bit behind. My Eurosport stream is a little bit behind the scoreboard, but I'll do my best for you. So at the moment, I have it as 40 love to Alcaraz. Here we go. Alcaraz serving. And the first serve, oh, it's good. It's out wide, and Khachanov just about gets to it. Carlos takes the ball out of the air. The smash is good, and it is a game to love for Carlos Alcaraz. I think that deserves an Alcaraz button as well. I'm not sure if you've seen this Alcaraz button. We've got a new one, so I'm going to play it for you now.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So here we are now having Karen Khachanov serving to Carlos Alcaraz. And while we're at it and we've just begun the match, why don't you all send in your predictions? Who do you think is going to take this last match of the day? So we're still in the rally at the moment. There's a good cross court from Khachanov. Carlos gets it back and we're going cross court to forehand. Oh, and Carlos Alcaraz, he tries to go for the wide cross court and it goes into the net. So it is 15 love to Khachanov. So we have a prediction Khachanov in 5. So you think this one could be going the distance just like the previous match as well? Jared thinks 6-2, 6-2, 6-2 to Alcaraz. We have Alcaraz in 3. Carlos in 3. Again, Carlos in straights. I think most of you are probably predicting for Carlos to come through this one, but we'll see. So we are at 15 love at the moment on my stream here. Carlos Alcaraz, he's gone for the drop shot. We've got an early drop shot, and it's a really good one. The Alcaraz drop shot has been shown, so it is 15 all. Is there a better drop shot than Carlos Alcaraz at the moment? If you can think of one, let me know, because I can't. And Daniel thinking Alcaraz in 4. So here we go. Khachanov serving. And the first serve is out, so we'll go for a second serve. And the second serve, it's a double fault from Khachanov. So it clips the top of the net and the ball goes long. So it's 15-30. Be half a chance here for Alcaraz. Jared says Federer has a great drop shot. Yeah, of course. Can't dismiss Federer's drop shot. It's beautiful. It's just sad that we haven't seen that drop shot in a long time, and I hope we will get to see it again. Hopefully this year at Basel or the Laver Cup, possibly. So again, Khachanov's first serve is out, so we've got a second serve. That's good. It's a backhand return from Alcaraz. Going backhand to backhand at the moment. There's a forehand from Carlos, a forehand from Khachanov. And Khachanov's cross court, was that in? Oh no, it was out. It just missed the line. And it is a break point for Carlos Alcaraz. It is 15-40. Can he take this? Yeah, that is true. Djokovic is an excellent drop shot. And on Jabeur, on the women's game, I can't think of a better drop shot than on Jabeur's. It's beautiful. So here we go. It's a break point for Carlos Alcaraz on the serve of Khachanov. First serve is good. There's a cross-court forehand return from Alcaraz. Now we're going backhand to backhand, cross-court. And there's a backhand down the line from Alcaraz. And Khachanov does dig it out, but Carlos Alcaraz puts the response away. And he does get the break of serve. So it's the dream start for Alcaraz at the moment. Yeah, it's a break 2 love, and he will be serving now. So Yeah, apologies. Like I said, my stream is a little bit behind the live scoreboard, so I'm sorry about that. It's the Eurosport stream. Hopefully, well, it's because the Prime Video one is usually pretty good, but we don't get it here in the UK on Prime, so unfortunately, it's a bit behind the scoreboard. But hopefully, it won't be too bad for you guys. So here we go. Carlos Alcaraz is serving. And the serve is good. It's a backhand return from Khachanov, forehand from Alcaraz, backhand from Khachanov. Oh, and Alcaraz tries to go for the inside out forehand, but it's long. So Khachanov wins the first point on the serve of Carlos Alcaraz. It's love 15. Saying people discounting Federer, I don't think he's done quite yet. I really hope that's the case because Federer is one of my favorite players to watch, and I would love to see him come back. Obviously, not like where he was at his peak, but I would love to see him come back competitive and giving people a good match. So I would love to see him. So here we go. Alcaraz serving. Second serve is good. It's a backhand return from Khachanov, and Khachanov goes for the drop shot, but Alcaraz is there, and yeah, that's brilliant. He just pushes the ball down the line. Khachanov can't get to it, and it's 15-all. Which match do I think will be more competitive, this one or JG versus Ben? You know what? I've yet to see JG and Ben play tennis against each other, so I would be interesting, but I'm probably going to think, well, I should probably say this one, right? But I'll have to think about that one. So we got Alcaraz serving, and it's a very good serve. It is an ace, and it is 30-15. Do I have a favorite? Yes, I have to be honest. I'm a very, very big fan of Carlos Alcaraz. I love the Spanish players. I'm a Spanish speaker myself, and not just because he's Spanish, I think he's one of the most exciting players to watch right now. So I will be rooting for Carlos Alcaraz, but I do like Karen Khachanov. I think he's a very underrated player sometimes. So hopefully it's just it's going to be a competitive match, but I will be pulling for Carlos. So here we go. The serve from Alcaraz is good. There's a backhand return from Khachanov, a backhand from Carlos, and there's a wild backhand attempt to be down the line from Khachanov, but it goes miles wide, and it is 40-15. Thanks. Yeah, well, there's one thing that used to bother me watching tennis on TV was when commentators would get the pronunciations wrong when, if a player has on the ATP or WTA website, they have that clip of them saying their name. So I like to try and make sure that I listen to that and get the pronunciation right. But yeah, luckily I know how to pronounce Carlos Alcaraz because of Spanish. But yeah. So that is a consolidation, I do believe. It is 3-love to Carlos Alcaraz. Again, this is going perfectly for Carlos at the moment. I think everybody's thinking ahead, Carlos probably playing the winner of Djokovic Nadal, and it's such an exciting prospect. It's interesting to see where they schedule the Djokovic Nadal match, actually. It should be on Tuesday. I'm wondering, the day session would favor Nadal more, night session Djokovic. So we'll see who Paris gives the edge to there. I wonder if Khachanov will get any games. Hopefully he'll give Carlos a bit of a competition, but no, I think he will. I don't think it's going to be totally straightforward for Carlos. Yeah, you guys here talking about Verdasco in the comments. He is still playing, isn't he? I think he try to qualify for Roland Garros, and he lost a match in qualifying. Yeah, I honestly, I thought he'd retired until I saw his name there. So, okay, so here you have Khachanov serving now. And the serve is good. It's a forehand return from Alcaraz. I'm not sure if that was a shank, but I don't think it counts as a shank, but it is a lobbing forehand, and it sails past the baseline. So it is 15-love to Karen Khachanov. So here we go, the serve again for Khachanov, and is that good? That looked like an ace, but I think it's been called, it's been called wide, so it's the second serve here. So the second serve is good. It's a forehand return from Carlos, sorry. We got forehand down the line from Carlos, and Khachanov tries to dig the forehand out and go cross court, but it is long, and so it is 15-all. Sounds like they're going to go for a night match. Okay, yeah, so that'll definitely favor Djokovic. But again, with Rafa being pushed to 5 sets today as well, and Djokovic doing it in straight, that could play a part in it as well. We'll have to see. But I mean, it's Rafa at Roland Garros. You know, you can never count that guy out. So we have Khachanov serving at 15-all. The serve is good. Carlos just about runs around to get the return back in, and we're now going backhand to backhand cross court. And the backhand was just in from Khachanov, so we're still going here. Carlos loops a ball up, but Khachanov is on it. Carlos gets the return back, and we are now going, it's another lobbing ball from Carlos that goes right up into the air, but Khachanov is on it. Carlos digs it out. He's still going in this rally. Khachanov again with the inside out forehand, and this time Carlos can't get to the ball, and it is 30-15. Hey, Jared saying that Verdasco complained about Murray getting the wild card. Yeah, so that's quite the controversial thing with the wild cards in Madrid. I think there was one Spanish player they may have given it to. There were very, very few Spanish players. And there was a big sort of outcry from the crop of Spanish players about that. And then when you compare that to the next tournament, which was Rome, almost all of their wild cards went to Italian players. So yeah, it's very sort of different from tournament to tournament. But Verdasco was one of those that was very outspoken about that. So the serve is good from Khachanov. But Khachanov comes into the net and Carlos gets the passing shot off. So it is 30-all. Again, ALCARAZ is making his way into the service game of Khachanov. Thinks Velasco has a better chance than Murray. Well, being a Brit, I am a diehard Murray fan. So I would like to think that that was not the case. But, you know, I think for what Murray is doing right now is absolutely incredible on, a metal hip, basically. I think, it's amazing. So I'll never count Murray out either. So asking where can you find a live stream of the game? So I believe, well, in France it's on Prime Video, but in the rest of Europe, well, I have it on here on Eurosport. I'm not too sure who. I think some of you were saying it's in Peacock in the US, but for me here, it's Eurosport. And just for 1 second, my stream has actually gone dead. So I am going to try and get that back for you. And in the meantime, I am going to play an advert for you. So we have a partnership with a new tennis app. It's great. It's called AP Tennis. And it's all about the mental side of tennis. If you're playing an opponent, somebody maybe who's ranked higher than you, how to sort of get into that mental state of trying to beat them and come through that match. So I'm going to play this for you now. It's a new app, and if you give it a download, you get a free trial as well. So here you go.
Isn't it frustrating when you play great in practice but play poorly during competition? Performing well during competition requires your ability to remain present, focused, believe in yourself when things are going against you, manage expectations in a way that allows you to play freely, and always be ready to embrace challenges as opportunities for improvement. AP Tennis is led by a legendary and world-renowned performance psychologist, Dr. Jim Layer, who helped 17 athletes become world number ones, including Novak Djokovic, Andre Agassi, Jim Courier, Monica Seles, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. At AP, their mission is to make mental training accessible and affordable so that everyone can receive world-class mental training anytime and anywhere. Now, for less than $6 a month, billed annually, you can start winning more matches and enjoy the game in the process. Best of all, AP is a freemium app. That means you'll have access to everything for 7 days without putting credit card information. You can purchase the app if you like it, or even if you do not purchase the app, you will still have full access to the resources section where you will receive weekly mental training lessons. A-Peak Tennis is already used by so many top US college teams and top players. The official mental training of Intercollegiate Tennis Association and United States Professional Tennis Association. With A-Peak Tennis, it does give you the competitive advantage.
And while that was playing, Carlos Alcaraz did in fact get the break. He is a double break up. And I believe that does warrant a Alcaraz button as well, I think.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So we now have Carlos Alcaraz at 30 love on his serve here. Again, this is the perfect start for Carlos. He's yet to drop a game to Khachanov. So let's see if he can make it a bit more competitive, the Russian. So here we are in a backhand cross-court rally at the moment. Carlos goes down the line and Khachanov digs it out, but the ball is long and it is 40 love. And it is a point to potentially a game to love. And Alcaraz is off to an absolute flyer here in less than 20 minutes. So we have the first serve here from Alcaraz. And it's just called out. It will be a second serve. Oh boy, that Alcaraz button. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's quite cool. I like the Alcaraz button. The buttons on here are so catchy. I know I've said it in the previous one, but I'm still singing the On Shabir button. It's such a catchy song. So here we are, a second serve again at 40 love for Carlos Alcaraz. And the backhand return from Khachanov, it's a good one. And the dig out from Carlos goes long, so it is 40-15. It won't be a game to love. But it's still looking like it's going to be 5 love. Again, apologies if you're just joining. My Eurosport stream is a little bit behind the scoreboard. See, Manuel is saying Carlos will be the next Nadal. I mean, we've all seen the comparisons being made at the moment. Everybody's saying he's a baby Nadal, and of course, it's easy to see the similarities. But I think it's important to let him be his own player as well, and to develop into a possibly Grand Slam winner and a world number one in his own right. But it is hard to deny the parallels with Rafa and this kid. And it is a game to 15. And Carlos Alcaraz in 20 minutes is now up 5 love on the Russian Karen Khachanov. So here we have Federer, never beaten Nadal at Roland Garros. Yeah, well, I mean, Federer, this is not the biggest fan of clay, saying that he's, of course, won this tournament once before. But I think Rafa is just a different beast at Roland Garros. I was a little bit, not worried, in the 5-setter against Felix that we saw earlier today. And so Felix took the first set, Rafa the next 2. Felix took the 4th, and then it was 6-3 in the 5th for Rafa. And you feel silly at the end of it for thinking, oh gosh, is Rafa going to be out of this? You think maybe Felix has got him, but it's Rafa at Roland Garros, So we have Carlos is his own player. His style is a mix. So again, he does have sort of a few Federer like qualities, I believe. He's got the fighting spirit of Rafa, but he's I feel like he's got a little bit of each of the big 3, which is a slightly terrifying prospect. But I'm so excited to see what he's going to do in this game. I mean, what he's already doing in 19. So. Patrick saying Federer won thanks to Soderling. Yeah, Soderling, of course, being one of the only players to have taken out Nadal at Roland Garros. Obviously, Djokovic being the other. So you have Khachanov serving. It's a backhand return from Carlos, and we're back into back, and it's a forehand wide from Khachanov, but it's good. It hits the line, and the forehand from Carlos Alcaraz with a blinding forehand cross court. The angle is brilliant. And it is love 15 again. Alcaraz is winning the first point on the Khachanov serve. So again, can Khachanov try and get a game on the board here to avoid the bagel? I don't think we quite expected the bagel. I mean, Khachanov, he pushed Norrie in a really good match actually the other day. I'm not sure if it was 4 or 5 sets, but yeah, Norrie obviously a player in great form. So hopefully Khachanov can make this a bit more competitive. But here we are. The second serve is good, and it's a forehand return from Alcaraz, but it is netted by Khachanov, and it is 15-all. Yeah, Novak, lucky he's the youngest of the big three. Yeah, of course. Novak being the youngest, still on the same slams as Federer, one less than Nadal. So yeah, I think to be honest, we're all lucky that this big three have come in the same generation. Obviously, maybe not for the generation below them, who've had to kind of play in their shadow. But yeah, Novak, of course, obviously it seems more likely that he would have a chance at winning more Grand Slams than Federer definitely, but also possibly playing for longer than Nadal, especially with Nadal's injury as well. Something that he's playing with every day. So yeah, we'll see. I guess who ends up the king of the Grand Slam race at the end of it all. So now we do have here a point for a game for Khachanov. It's a 40-15. Let's see if Khachanov can get himself on the board. Potentially might still not avoid the baked goods, could get breadstick, but it's not going to be, hopefully, a bagel if we can just get this point here. So the first serve is a let. So we'll play it again. And this time, the serve is good. It's down the tee, and the return from Alcaraz is into the net, and Khachanov gets a game on the board. And I think that means we should get a Khachanov button.
Karim, Khachanov. Karim, Khachanov.
So here we have Alcaraz serving for the set at 5-1. Oh, it's a good first serve. Khachanov gets it in though, and we go for the drop shot from Alcaraz, and Khachanov cannot get to it in time. It's a good drop shot, and it is 15-love to Carlos. So, seeing your comments here, you're thinking that Nadal maybe... I'm going to try and put this one up for you here now. So Nadal saying in a Spanish TV interview that this French Open may be his last. I've actually seen that interview. That is a heartbreaking prospect, I think, to think that this might be his last one. I feel like he's still got a few in him, to be honest, but it's all about how much that injury is causing him pain day to day. Patrick saying if Alcaraz plays like this, he can treble Novak or Nadal. Oh, he can absolutely treble them, I believe. I mean, he beat them back to back in Madrid. So, yeah, absolutely. I think he can treble them. Both of them, I believe. So here we are. It is 15-all at the moment. Carlos Alcaraz serves just about down the tee. I think he meant for it to be a bit wider than that, but it is good. We have a forehand to forehand rally at the moment. Carlos Alcaraz with the backhand. Backhand from Khachanov, it's good, but it's down the middle of the court, and Carlos gets an angle on it, and he goes for the inside out forehand. And was that in? No, it wasn't. It's called out, so it is 15-30. So here's a rare slight chance for Khachanov on the Alcaraz serve. So the first serve from Alcaraz. Oh, it's a good serve down the tee. Khachanov does get the return back in play, and Carlos comes into the net. Oh, Khachanov's return is just about there, but and it's a beautiful, beautiful volley from Carlos Alcaraz at the net, and it is 30-all. It's great to see a young player like this, like comfortable at the net and coming in, certain volley, drop shot. It's great. I feel like the past few years have been, baseline rally dominated, and I love to see a player like this coming in and taking the ball in early. So we have the first serve from Alcaraz at 30-all. It's a good first serve, and the return from Khachanov. Oh, it just about drops over the net, but Carlos takes it out of the air, and it is 40-30. And here we have a point for the set. Speaking of luck, the other half of the draw is like, yeah, okay. So the bottom half of the draw, I would say a very, very lucky group of players. I mean, you've got Nadal, Djokovic, Alcaraz, all in the top half. So the likes of, Tsitsipas, Sinner, Rublev in the bottom half, they'd be laughing, I suppose, when they saw that draw. And Alcaraz does take the set. It is a game 40-15, and he takes it 6-1. It is a baked good. It is a breadstick. He serves up to Khachanov, and it is first set to Carlos Alcaraz.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Vamos, Carlos. Yeah, so I wonder if you guys think that this is going to be an easy 3-setter for Carlos, or do we think Khachanov can turn this around? Let us know what you think in the comments. We have a prediction here for Alcaraz to get the win tonight and also to win the title. Honestly, wouldn't be that surprised if he did take the title out, to be honest. He's got as good a chance as anyone, I believe. We know he can beat the top players, so it's just whether he can beat them over best of 5, I suppose. We've seen him come through 5-set matches, but we haven't seen that match with Nadal or Djokovic, for example, again in 5 sets. So we'll see how. I believe he's got plenty of stamina. I mean, he's 19 years old. He can go the distance. So I think he's got a good chance as any to get this title. Patrick's saying, when was the last time Khachanov trebled the top 10? That's true. I mean, I don't know. He's won a Masters 1000 title. We know what he's capable of, and he can beat the top players, but he's just sort of not had the results recently. And I honestly couldn't tell you the last time he beat a top 10 player. If anybody knows, let us know. But yeah, it's a shame really, because he is so good when he's playing well, and yeah, he's just on a bit of a slump at the moment, Khachanov. So we now have Khachanov serving for the opening game of this second set. And the first serve is long, so we will get a second serve. Second serve is good. It's a forehand return from Alcaraz, and we're now going forehand to forehand. It's a backhand from Khachanov. Oh, it's a great angle on the forehand from Alcaraz, and Khachanov gets it back short. Carlos at the net, but can't get the ball in the court, and it is just wide, and so it is love 15 to Khachanov. It is 15 love Khachanov. Yeah, that was right. So he won the Masters 1000 in Paris, beating Novak there in the final. So again, we know he can do it against the top players, but yeah, it's not been working for him at the moment. So Will here thinks Nadal is losing to Djokovic. Foot needs to be 100%, and it's not. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the foot will ever be 100% again. Nadal talking about living with that injury as a constant, rather than something that can be healed. It's just whether it's a good day or a bad day. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, he has had this injury for a while, and we saw what he did at the Australian Open. So, but yeah, you feel that if it is bothering him, he is going to need his complete, his full game to be able to trouble Djokovic. And hopefully, being a Rafa fan myself, I'm sorry for the the biased opinion, but I'd like to see Rafa going for his 14th Roland Garros here. So we have Khachanov at 40 love. He has a point for a game to love. And this could be a great start to the second set for the Russian after getting breadstick in the first set. So we have the second serve, which is good. It's a forehand return from Alcaraz, forehand cross-court from Khachanov, and the response there from Alcaraz is wide. And Khachanov does get the first game of the set on the board, and it is a game to love. So hopefully this is going to be a bit of a turnaround for Khachanov. Still pulling for Alcaraz, but I'd like to see a bit of a competitive match, I think. So I think getting that first game on the board will play the Khachanov button.
Karim, Khachanov. Karim, Khachanov.
So hi to you guys just joining. It's great to see you all, and hopefully you're enjoying the stream. So the ones of you who are here, please remember to give the video a like. We're at 89 at the moment, so we're almost at that 100 likes button. So please give please give it a like and subscribe as well to the channel if you haven't already done so. It helps us to grow the podcast. So we have Alcaraz serving at 15 love. Again, if you're just joining us, my Eurosport stream is a little bit behind the live scoreboard, so I do apologize for that. So Khachanov, he gets a ball just into the strike zone. I mean, Alcaraz hits it up and he can go for the smash, but he pulls it wide and he shouldn't have missed that. And he's angry with himself. You can see his frustration there. And it is 30 love to Carlos Alcaraz. Great to have you here, Jared, and I'll hopefully see you again soon on another stream. So the first serve is a fault from Khachanov. It will be a second serve. Captain giving us a fact that I didn't actually know. So he's Russian-born, but predominantly Armenian. I did not know that, actually. Yeah, it's an interesting fact. Of course, the players from Russia not being able to play under their flag at the moment. The controversial ban of Russian and Belarusian players at Wimbledon as well. So it's hard to imagine, what the players from Ukraine and Russia, I suppose, are going through. It's a very sort of controversial topic. I don't know what you all think about it. Let us know. So we are at 30-15 to Alcaraz at the moment. Oh, and the drop shot this time does not clear the net. It's too short. That's a rare drop shot miss there for Carlos, but it is now 30 all. So again, Khachanov is making his way into this game, which he wasn't doing in the first set. So let's see if he can capitalize on this. Great. I'm hoping you're enjoying the stream, John. And yeah, I'm not sure why Tennis Channel isn't televising this. Actually, I thought it would have. Well, I assumed it would have. But yeah, it's been quite a few problems with the Tennis Channel. I think the showing matches at the moment. I currently have it here on Eurosport, but hopefully I can bring this to you as up to date as possible, even if it is a little bit behind. So it is 30 all at the moment. Khachanov, it's a nice cross-court forehand, but Carlos gets it back, and it is backhand to backhand cross-court at the moment. And Khachanov goes to the backhand down the line, but he hits it wide. And again, he's really frustrated with himself. And it is 40-30 to Carlos Alcaraz. Crossing Ramos Vignolas is one heck of an athlete and nearly won against Alcaraz. Yeah, that 5-set match that they played, he really, really pushed Alcaraz. And I believe he may have served for the match in that 5th set, Ramos Vignolas. Can't quite remember, but yeah, Alcaraz was nearly down and out in that match. But he came back. Coming back against a veteran of the game in a 5-set match, I think is a rite of passage in a Grand Slam, and he came through that well. So I think that'll give him some confidence actually. And Carlos here takes the game. It is 1 game all. You're just asking, oh, not that one, sorry. Will Medvedev have a swing at Wimbledon? I believe Medvedev may play Wimbledon. I'm not sure if he's made a statement yet about whether or not he's going to play. I know some players have already come out. Obviously not Naomi Osaka, for instance, calling Wimbledon essentially an exhibition, which is some really strong words because, of course, they've removed ranking points from the tournament after a response from the ATP and the WTA doing so after Wimbledon banned the Russian and Belarusian players. So Medvedev won't be able to play at Wimbledon, as will the likes of Andrei Rublev and Arina Sabalenka. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, Daria Kasatkina, there's some really great players here that won't be able to play. So some players, again, have been saying that they're not going to play because of the ranking points. But, I think Wimbledon, it's a Grand Slam and a prestigious tournament in its own right. And, it's tricky. It'll be interesting to see what the draw will look like for Wimbledon. So Medvedev, he won't be able to play. The number 2 in the world, Arina Sabalenka as well, top 10 player. It's a tricky decision. Gary saying the decision by Wimbledon is wrong, and the decision of the ATP to take away points only makes it worse. To be honest, I agree with that. I think it is a lose-lose situation. I think it was handled probably badly on both sides. Personally, I think I agree with the players not being able to play under their flag or compete in team events. I think that is completely right. But to stop players from playing based on their nationality, I think that's a bit questionable. And then the ATP's response to it, like Gary says, it does punish all players, especially, the lower ranked players or the players who did really well last year. A few players have come out, speaking strongly against it. So it is going to be an interesting Grand Slam to see what is going through, who enters. And it's strange. It's really sad. I agree with you, Kaz. It's sad all around. Obviously it's horrible for the Ukrainian players. It's the worst for them completely. But I think it's for the Russian players and the Belarusian players. It's difficult. It's really difficult situation at the moment. I don't think there is complete right or wrong answer. But anyway, let's get back to the match. I suppose it is currently at the moment on my stream. It is 30-all on the Khachanov serve. So he has a first serve here, which is good. And the return from Alcaraz goes long, and it is 40-30. So we have a point here for Khachanov to get one more game on the board than he did in that first set where he got breadsticked. So let's see if he can do at least one better. Asking, will the USA change their COVID stance to allow Djokovic in? Again, I'm not. I actually wasn't aware that they still had that COVID rule in place. I didn't realize. I thought the USA were a little bit less strict than Australia. So, again, that's a slightly controversial one. In my opinion, I think Australia were completely right to do what they did. Get vaccinated. I think I respect Djokovic's right to not to do what he wants with his own body, but for in that case you can't play. If that is the rule of the tournament, you need to be vaccinated. I think it is. It was completely right. Do it for the health of other people, if not for your own. So hopefully. Here we go. So Gary's saying the USA just reinstated the rule recently. So it'll definitely be interesting to see then if Djokovic will be able to play, because of course he's got a bit of a controversial history with the US Open at the moment, getting the default as well. So if he can't play that, I guess Nadal would be very happy in terms of the Grand Slam race. But I'll see if I can keep you posted on that within the next stream and see what's going on. So we have now advantage to Alcaraz, but Alcaraz attempts the drop shot, and it is not it's not good. It doesn't clear the net, and it is back to deuce. We go. Carl saying if Karen wins this set, he has a fair chance of winning the match. True. You feel like he needs to get this set on the board to get back into the match. But if he does, I think, it then becomes a 3-set match. And I think he could he could get himself back into this, but I think he does need to win this set. So here we are again at deuce. The first serve from Khachanov is into the net, so we'll go for a second serve. It is good. It's a backhand return from ALCARAZ, and forehand down the line from Khachanov. Carlos comes into the net and attempts the volley, but he kind of takes the ball at his feet, and the ball goes wide, so it is advantage to Khachanov. Playing a slow-mo of the ALCARAZ drop shot here, and it is a beautiful sight. He's got such feel on the ball. Unfortunately, that one didn't work for him, but yeah, his drop shots are brilliant. So we have Khachanov here with the advantage. And the first serve is good. It's a backhand return from ALCARAZ, backhand to backhand at the moment. We have a forehand from Carlos, forehand from Khachanov. Carlos goes cross-court. We're now cross-court. There's finding some beautiful angles on the court. And Khachanov nets the ball. And yeah, again, he's just grimacing. He's not happy with that error, and it is back to deuce we go. So now we have the first serve of Khachanov. Oh, it's a brilliant serve, and it is an ace. It is advantage to Khachanov. You feel the crowd are probably on the side of ALCARAZ, but I think they are trying to encourage Khachanov to at least get a few more games on the board at the moment. He does have the advantage. Again, apologies for the slight lag between my stream and live scoreboard. So the serve, it goes down the tee, but he misses wide, so it will be a second serve. And the serve is good. ALCARAZ attempts the forehand cross-court return, but it goes long, and Khachanov does get another game on the board. He gets more games than he did in that first set. It is 2-1 to Khachanov in the second set.
Karin Khachanov. Karin Khachanov.
I quite like that. I'm having a little dance to that while that's playing. Hope you guys are enjoying these buttons as well. So let's see if Khachanov can make a bit more inroads into this set. We are 44 minutes on the clock at the moment. ALCARAZ taking the first set 6-1. We're now at the change of ends. So please remember to like this video. We are actually at 105 right now. We've got over 100 likes. So I think it's time for the 100 likes button. See if we can get to 200 by the end of the match. Please, give the video a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because it helps the podcast to grow. So it is 2-1 to Karen Khachanov in the second set. We have Carlos ALCARAZ to serve. And he's already done better than he did in the first set, where he only got the single game. Slightly confusing, the two men here with the exact same night kit on, but Khachanov does have a cap on, so it is just about able to discern them if you're looking at a stream on a small screen like I am at the moment. So it is ALCARAZ serving, and the ball from Khachanov is long, and so it is 15-love. It's the first point to get to ALCARAZ. So Matthew asking about the video. I cannot stream the video. This is just a live commentary along with the video. The video is being streamed on Eurosport or Prime Video in France or Peacock in the US, but this isn't a video of the tennis match. It is just a live watch along with commentary. Thanks, Kaz. Great to have you here, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. So it is 30-love to Carlos ALCARAZ at the moment. So Khachanov again, he's not had a look in this game at the moment, but he is doing better than he was in that first set. Crowd are slightly for Carlos Alcaraz, you believe. So it's a good first serve from Alcaraz, but he can't get a ball properly on that return of serve after Khachanov has hit it, and it goes into the net, to the bottom of the net, really, and it is 30-15 to Alcaraz. So Alcaraz there just clearing the clay off the lines, and he's got his first serve at 30-15. And the serve is into the net. It will be a second serve. And the second serve, it is good. The return from Khachanov, it's a backhand cross-court return. It's a lovely angle, but Carlos gets a great angle of his own. We now have forehand to forehand down the middle of the court, slowly pulling the angles wider. And we've got a backhand cross-court from Alcaraz, backhand from Khachanov. Now we're forehand to forehand cross-court. It's a looping high ball from Alcaraz, but Khachanov is on it. Khachanov for this beautiful cross-court slice drop shot. It's lovely, and the crowd love that as well, and so does Khachanov. He's fist bumping into the air. It is 30-all. Again, Khachanov making another inroads into the Alcaraz service game, something he wasn't doing in that first set. But that was a beautiful, beautiful cross-court drop shot. Thanks very much, Amy. It would be great to see Khachanov make this a bit more tight. Obviously, I have said that I am a big fan of Carlos Alcaraz, but we always want to see more tennis and a really competitive match. So hopefully he can get it. Well, he's already got more games in this set than he did. So let's see if he can make it competitive. So the first serve from Alcaraz is good, and Alcaraz has again gone from a drop shot. It's a good drop shot this time. Khachanov gets it up, but Carlos is there at the net for the volley, and it is 40-30, and we have a point for a game for Alcaraz. Alcaraz likes swatting mosquitoes with his racket. Yeah, he does. That's a great kind of way of putting it. He's got a lovely feel on the ball, but he's also he's got that power. He's not afraid to come to the net to volley. Yeah, it's a beautiful game to watch. I'm really, really excited about this young man. So the first serve from Alcaraz is good. Khachanov digs it out, but he pulls Carlos the wrong way, and leaves an open court there for Carlos. Just put the ball back into it. So it is 2 games all. Again, Khachanov he can get to sort of 30 all, but he can't really scratch out that break point. So we're just having a change of racket here for Carlos as he runs back to the baseline to take a serve. So Carlos asking what's the best Khachanov result. Yeah, so he did do well at the Olympics. He also won the Masters 1000 in Paris, where he beat Djokovic in the final there, which is probably one of the biggest, the biggest title of his career, I would think. But yeah, he hasn't had that many great results, over the past year or so. So it is 15-love at the moment to Khachanov. Sometimes Karen is toying with him, just playing with him and giving him false hope. Let's see if maybe that's his strategy. Lull him into a false sense of security and then put on the gas. But somehow I think Carlos is he's just playing too well. He's got Khachanov's number at the moment. And there's a backhand cross goes wide from Khachanov. It is 15-all. So again, if you're just joining us, apologies for the slight lag between my stream and the live scoreboard. So we have a first serve down the tee from Khachanov. The return is good from Alcaraz, and we are forehand to forehand at the moment. It's a nice backhand down the line from Carlos. It's lovely, but Khachanov he goes to the passing shot, but Alcaraz is there, and Khachanov comes to the net, and he volleys the ball past Alcaraz, and it is 30-15. That was a great point from the Russian. Looks like Khachanov likes playing big hitters. Yeah, I think he does. He's a tough one to read, Khachanov. When he gets these great results and then doesn't really produce for the rest of the season. So I think it depends, which Khachanov kind of turns up. He's a solid solid player. We know he is. And, at the moment, Alcaraz just has too much for him. But so we have 40-15 now for the Khachanov serve. Let's see if he can get 3 games on the board this time. Apologies if you just heard that. My cat has just made an appearance in the stream. There we go. That's a first. Sorry, it is 40-15. The first serve from Khachanov is into the net, so it is the second serve. It is a good second serve. We have a backhand return from Alcaraz, and the response there from Khachanov is wide. It is 40-30. I was asking why can I watch live as live. So we can't actually broadcast the stream. We are just a live watch along, providing commentary. So you can watch the stream. I'm currently watching it on Eurosport. You can also watch on Amazon Prime in France or on Peacock in the States. But this is just a live commentary watch along. So 40-30. Can Khachanov get another game on the board? Second serve there, and it's good. It's a nice return from Alcaraz with good depth, but Khachanov gets it back, and Alcaraz's response, it just about drops over the net, and it's a good angle there from Khachanov, and so it is 3-2. So 3 games in this set compared to just the one in the previous set. I think we'll do a Khachanov button.
Karim, Khachanov. Karim, Khachanov.
So we're just at the sit-down change of ends now. 3-2 to Khachanov. You guys, thank you. If she comes back, I might let her in, but hopefully she won't disrupt the stream. It's all about the tennis. Let's focus on the tennis. Tom saying he was at Rafa versus Karen at the Oz Open. Oh, that must have been really good. Karen had big support. Yeah, that's surprising. I mean, Rafa's obviously a favorite wherever he goes, but yeah, it's a good match. And I think Khachanov, he's a well-liked player. I mean, I think he's a good player to watch as well. Again, I don't know how much of a chance he will have against Carlos in this match, but hopefully the crowd will get a bit on his side. I mean, obviously Alcaraz has huge support wherever he goes as well, but I think they are sort of trying to get Khachanov into this match, the crowd, a little bit, and they could be a help for him as well. Casey asks, what's my cat's name? My cat's name is Tess. She was found abandoned at a Tesco, so the shelter we got her from named her Tess, so that's what we went with. So we have Alcaraz with the first point on his service game. It is 15-love, and he is at 2-3. Carl says, Khachanov reminds me of Marin Cilic. I think your cat is watching with you also. Oh, that's great. He's a little bit like Marin Cilic. Their game styles, yeah. Yes, I can see that. Cilic, winning his match against Gilles Simon the other day as well, with Gilles Simon in his last match at Roland Garros, because he's retiring at the end of the year. You're asking why is Tennis Channel not showing the game? I honestly no idea why Tennis Channel doesn't have it. Like I said, I'm currently watching it on Eurosport. If you can get that, I believe Amazon Prime have it in France. It is now 30-love to Khachanov. To Carlos Alcaraz. Talking about Khachanov there, had him on the mind. So Khachanov, he's looking a little bit frustrated with himself. He's thinking, why can't he get into these games? He's getting into some of these Alcaraz service games, but he can't seem to capitalize on that. So we have here Alcaraz serving at 30-love. And it's a good, Karen Khachanov just reaches about for the return there, and he gets it back in. Alcaraz, though, comes up to the net. He's a beautiful cross-court forehand. It's a lovely angle, and it is 40-love. Tom says, I have a cat called Rafa. That's a great name for a cat. I mean, I believe Sebastian Korda actually has a cat called Rafa as well, and then ended up playing Rafa, his idol. So I found that quite a funny little story. But so you found him as a 6-day-old kitten when the 2020 Oz Open was on. I hadn't heard of Karen at more else I would have called him Karen. I think Rafa is a great name for a cat. Yeah, sometimes I like to call Tess Rafa, or Rafinha as I call her because she's a girl. Because she seems to like it when Rafa's playing on the TV. So maybe she is secretly a tennis fan. Saying it can't be much longer before Gasquet, Monfils follow Simon and Joe Willie in retirement. I don't think so. I mean, Gasquet especially. I think Monfils. I think he could have a few more in him. But I think Gasquet won't be long. And yeah, there was such a great crop of French players, and I don't think they ever really quite fulfilled the potential that we all thought they would have. But I actually happened to be on Philippe Chatrier the day that Tsonga played his last match, played against Casper Ruud. It was a beautiful retirement thing for him, with all the French players coming out on court. You had Gasquet there, Monfils, Simon. And it was really a privilege to watch that. Actually, Tsonga played an amazing match there until the very end, where he niggled his injury. So we are now at 3 games all. If everyone's got to go, it's thank you for joining us here, and hopefully we'll see you again on the next stream. This is Monfils and Gasquet is still very serviceable tennis players. Yeah, absolutely they are. I mean, Gasquet did pretty well at this year's French Open as well. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him retire pretty soon. Monfils maybe a little bit later. So we have got 15 love on the Khachanov serve. Oh, but it's a great ball from Carlos Alcaraz there, and it is 15 all. So a question here, who are the next gen analogues to Rafa, Joker, and Fed? So I think Carlito, Medvedev, and Shapo. I think Carlitos definitely, and Medvedev, to be honest. Not entirely convinced on Shapovalov at the moment. Especially with his performance here in the first round, Roland Garros, he just got thrashed by Holger Rune. But definitely Carlitos and Medvedev. I think it's hard to see, a new big three, as it were. I don't think we're ever going to see that kind of thing again. I think we've lived in the golden era of tennis on the men's side, at least, and it's hard to imagine that happening again. But I would probably put Tsitsipas above Shapovalov, in my opinion, closer to the sort of the next big three, if you will. So you have now got 30 all on the Khachanov serve. Again, Alcaraz is making his inroads on the service game of the Russian, and let's see if he can capitalize it. Again, if you are just joining us, apologies for the slight lag in my stream and the live scoreboard, but we do now have a break point to Carlos Alcaraz. It is 30-40. So let's see if Alcaraz can get the first break in this second set, which would put him 4-3 up, serving 4-5-3. So the first serve, it's a good first serve from Khachanov, but the return is good from Alcaraz. We are now going backhand to backhand. It's a forehand from Khachanov. It's good, but it's a forehand cross court from Alcaraz. We have backhand cross court, backhand to backhand, and Alcaraz goes in for the nice slice. It's beautiful. It just hits plumb on the line. And the shot there from Khachanov goes wide. He is frustrated, and it is the break of serve for Carlos Alcaraz.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So we have a comment here from Amy saying, shocked on the women's side by Sloane Stephens beating Jill Teichmann. Yeah, Sloane Stephens looked incredible in that match. I mean, I think she dropped her first service game and Teichmann was up 2-love. And then from there, she didn't lose a game. She won it 6-2, 6-love, and she lost 3 points in that second set. Just 3 points Jill Teichmann took. She looked incredible. Something about Roland Garros with Sloane Stephens. She's going to be pretty tough to beat if she plays like that again. Because, yeah, Teichmann has been having a great season herself. He's just saying, I have to make dinner and don't want to drop my phone in the stew. So thanks very much for watching. And again, I hope we'll see you again on the next one. Alexander asking, how effective do you think Alcaraz's kick serve will be on the outside versus Novak in the French Open versus Madrid? Yeah, obviously the conditions are very different. Madrid being at altitude. So I think he may have to adjust his tactics a little bit. But yeah, that kick serve was really good in that match, so yeah, he's going to have to serve extremely, extremely well against Novak, of course. Novak probably being one of the best return of servers of the game. And if he can try and get, the same sort of effectiveness as he did in Madrid on that, I think it will be very effective. But it is if he can try and get that same sort of arc on the ball on the clay here at Roland Garros as Madrid, of course, because the conditions are very different. I think Sloane is a beast when she's engaged. She absolutely is. It's such a strange thing to see. She's, this season been losing to players she absolutely should not have been losing to, players who we've never even heard of. And then all of a sudden she comes to Roland Garros, and when she's on, it's incredible. Like I said, the match against Jill Teichmann, she played phenomenally. So it would be great. I think she plays Coco Gauff in the quarterfinals. So that should be a really, really great match. So going back to who the three could be to replace the big three, we have I've lost the comment here, but I believe someone was saying Shapo could be one of them. Again, I think Shapo had all this promise, when he beat Nadal at that very young age at a Masters, and he's such a flashy, great player to watch, and I just think in the big matches, he just doesn't pull it out. I don't think I would put him up there personally. But he is a very, very exciting player to watch, especially, when he's on. I was saying, should Rafa demand the night match slot on Tuesday is awarded to Sloane versus Goff? Yeah, that is true, because that would be a massive game for American tennis. Of course, with the time difference, that would be a perfect kind of slot for the women's match. And yeah, obviously, I would love to see more women's matches in that popcorn slot. It's great. They have been putting, I think they've been putting sort of an equal amount at the moment of women's and men's matches in that time slot. But yeah, it'll be an interesting decision to see who they do put there. So at the moment now we have 30 all on the serve of Carlos Alcaraz. KHACHANOV there making an unforced error, and again he's very frustrated with himself. Thinks he should have made that. And he's got 30 all again on the serve of Alcaraz, but he can never sort of scratch out that break point. So Alcaraz is the break of serve up. He's serving at 4-3. And the serve is good. It's a backhand return for Khachanov. We're now backhand to backhand, and this backhand does not clear the net from Khachanov. Again, he's frustrated with himself. It is 40-30 to Alcaraz, so he's a point away from consolidating that break. We have the new big three, Rune, Sinner, and Korda. That's actually a really interesting pick. Sinner. I'm a big fan of Yannick Sinner, actually, and I do like Rune and Korda as well. I mean, Rune's still in the French Open, of course, and he will be playing his match tomorrow, I believe, on Philippe Chatrier. So yeah, that's a good one. I mean, he's won a title recently, Rune, and Korda, of course, been getting some good results. He obviously beat Alcaraz. I think he was the last person to beat Alcaraz on the clay of Monte Carlo. So. Yeah, I do like that. I do like that comparison there. It's a good one. But Yannick Sinner, definitely rate him. I'm very excited for that match. Yannick Sinner and Andrei Rublev tomorrow. That should be a really, really good one. So have Nadal, underdog versus Joker. Again, it's hard to put Nadal as an underdog against anybody at Roland Garros. But with the injury and like Chris is saying here, with Djokovic is hitting lots of drop shots, it's going to be really tough one for Nadal. And Djokovic is going to be ruthless. So personally, I am a big Rafa fan, and I would love to see Rafa get through that match. But I think it's going to be incredible. I mean, the Djokovic-Nadal match is pretty much most people's final, I think, at the moment. It's going to be huge. It'll be really interesting to see who can take that. So we have a return of serve there from Khachanov. It goes long. He wants another look at it. The umpire comes down. Carlos is circling the mark. He's confident that it's out, and it is indeed called out by the umpire. The crowd are booing here as well, and Khachanov isn't happy. But the umpire's not going to change his mind, and it is advantage to Carlos Alcaraz. Yeah, again, showing Djokovic and Nadal, but not Carlos. I'm very, very surprised that Tennis Channel aren't showing this. I mean, Carlos he's the guy everybody wants to see play at the moment. So hopefully you are enjoying this stream here. I'll bring it to you the best as I can. Apologies again for the lag between my video and the scoreboard I'm watching on Eurosport. But here we are. The break is consolidated from Carlos Alcaraz. It is 5-3. He is up a break in the second set. Took the first set 6-1. So it is a consolidation.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So Todd saying here, after what happened in Australia, I would never count Rafa out. Exactly. What happened in Australia, I don't think any of us really saw it coming with that 5-set win in the final over Daniil Medvedev. And you can't absolutely ever count Rafa out at Roland Garros. It'd be stupid to do that, I think, to count him out. Maybe he isn't quite a strong favourite as he has been in previous years, especially the half of the draw that he has fallen in, but you definitely cannot count him out. Thought saying set 2 is in the bag. Yeah, it does look like here this second set is in the bag for Carlos Alcaraz. He is serving for the set at the moment. It is 15-love. Oh, I do apologize. He's not serving for the set. It is Khachanov serving to stay in the set, and it is love 15 for Carlos. The players are both wearing the exact same night kit, and it is a bit difficult to tell them apart at times. Yeah, a lot has happened since Australia. I'll grant you that. The injury. I mean, Nadal did have that injury in Australia. It's an injury that he lives with day to day. It's not an acute injury; it's chronic, and so it does depend how that injury is on the day. With Djokovic, obviously, if it's a bad day, he's going to need it to be the best that it possibly can to beat Djokovic. Really, yeah, like you're saying, Felix did almost beat him. That 5-set match, Felix was right there. He played such a good match, but it is Rafa at Roland Garros. Tom saying Rafa's saving energy for Djokovic. He could well be. He will need all the energy he can get to take on Novak. So we are at 15-30 on the Khachanov serve. Of course, if Alcaraz breaks here, he does get the second set in the bag. Federer's at least one more Laver Cup in him. Yeah, I do believe he is playing the Laver Cup this year. He said he'd come back for that home tournament in Basel and then the Laver Cup as well. We know that Federer loves the Laver Cup, and it's always great to see Federer and Nadal together as well. So it's a good first serve there from Khachanov, and the return is long from Carlos, so it is 30-all. Yeah, something that really frustrates me is the players not wearing the same outfits in a match, or then also doubles teams with the players not wearing the same thing. It's very frustrating. You'd think they would do better, but here we are. We've got Khachanov has the backwards baseball cap that Alcaraz doesn't, so. And it will be, the player who's drop shotting more as well. It's easy to spot. It'll be Alcaraz. I'm saying Carlos is the best player in the world right now. Arguably, yes. Beating Nadal and Djokovic back-to-back at Madrid. Yeah, arguably, I would say he is the best player in the world right now. This is an extended rally from the two, and there's a backhand from Khachanov. It's plumb in the corner of the court. It's a beautiful, beautiful length and width from there, and it is 40-30. How do we think Uncle Tony genuinely feels? That must have been a really, really tough watch for Uncle Tony, obviously being the uncle of Rafa Nadal, but the coach of Felix Auger-Aliassime. Uncle Tony did say that, he wants his nephew to win first and foremost. Nadal would be his priority, but and he did say that to Felix as well. But I believe he was sitting in the president's box, sort of right in the middle, not on either side of the players' boxes. So that must have been a really, really tough watch for Uncle Tony, I admit. But ultimately, I think he got the outcome that he would have wanted, with Rafa taking it there in 5. And there is a backhand from the net from Alcaraz that goes long, and it is a game to Karen Khachanov. He avoids the break from Alcaraz there to take the set, so it is 4 games to 5 as we sit down at the change of ends. So, hi, Chris. Yeah, I'm also fairly new. This is just my 3rd stream here, but my name is Megan. I'm from Wales, currently living in Manchester, though, so I'm bringing you this from the UK. It's great to see everybody here, old and new friends, and if you can give the video a like. We've hit the 100 like button already, but if we can get it up to the 200, that would be brilliant. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the podcast here on YouTube as well, and the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, because it helps us to grow and get more people watching. So Tom's saying, I still think Karen wins this in 5. I think it's a long road back if Alcaraz does take the second set, but obviously it's not about it's not out of the question. Khachanov has played a lot of 5-setters in his career, so it's not out of the question. But with Carlos playing the way he is right now, it's hard to see. Saying you can't watch this in the US, that's such a shame. Like I said, I have on Eurosport here, and Tennis Channel have been, I believe, doing a lot of the matches in the US, but they're not currently showing it. So hopefully the stream here is helping you not watch along with it, but at least listen along. And hopefully I'm bringing it to you. I know it's a little bit behind the stream than the scoreboard, but I'm doing my best. I can just asking for a Khachanov button. I can give you the Khachanov button, as he did take that game there and stopped it from going Carlos Alcaraz's way in the second set. So here is the Khachanov button for you.
Karen Khachanov. Karen Khachanov.
So Alcaraz is here now serving for the second set. And asks, do you think height is more advantageous on the men's or women's tour? Barty was extremely dominant. Nadal, Federer, and Lily aren't super tall. Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because obviously we all think height is an advantage. But like you said, Barty is one of the shorter tennis players out there, and she was extremely dominant. And I don't believe Iga is actually one of the tallest either. And, she's on a 31 match winning streak. So I think it does help, but it isn't everything. I mean, obviously, on the men's side, you have Nadal, Federer, and Roland aren't the tallest. You've got guys like John Isner and Riley Opelka, who, really tall guys who've got great serves. But obviously, it's not all that the game is about. You can get your good serves and force things to a tiebreak, but at the end of the day, it's the touch and the feel and the tennis IQ that these guys have that puts them on the top. So it does help, but I don't think on either tour, to be honest, it is the key feature. So here now we have 40-15 on the Alcaraz serve. He does have a point to take the second set. Let's see if he can capitalize here. So the first serve from Alcaraz is a good serve, and the return from Khachanov is wide, and it is the second set in the bag for Carlos Alcaraz. He takes it 6-4. It is 2-0 to the Spaniard. And here's the Carlos Alcaraz button for you all.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz.
So it's looking like it's 2-0 at the moment. Carlos Alcaraz has had the ideal start to this game. I mean, he breadsticked Karen Khachanov in that first set. It's taken the second 6-4. So Karen Khachanov is going to have to take this to 5 sets if he's going to get the win. This is for a spot in the quarterfinals at Roland Garros, a place that Carlos Alcaraz hasn't been before. He reached the 3rd round last year, I believe. That was his best result. So he's already bested that by reaching the 4th round here, but he would obviously love to go one better for a spot in the quarterfinals, which I do believe would be against Alexander Zverev, who came through today against qualifier Zapata Miralles, who's had a great tournament and who really pushed Zverev, actually took him to a tiebreak. It was an 11-point tiebreak in that first one and 7-5 in the second set, I believe, before fading a little bit there, but he's done really, really well. Of course, the other quarterfinal we have is Nadal versus Djokovic, which everybody is anticipating. Now, Khachanov, he has been to the quarterfinals previously, one time previously here in Paris, so he would love to do the same and go one better again. But it is a long road back for the Russian at the moment. It is 2 sets to love for Carlos. We'll have to take this in 5 if the Russian is going to take it. So we will have Khachanov to serve to open this 3rd set. So you have a few debates here about why Novak is so dominant. So Van saying Novak has the perfect tennis dimensions, and Tom saying Novak's domination is down to his plant-based diet. Of course, Novak famously sort of talking about the diet that he's gone through. I think his tennis IQ for Novak is a huge thing. And again, when you think Novak is down and out, he will always come through. I think that is the thing about the big 3. You know, not only have they got that skill and determination, but it is their tennis IQ that they have, and just that thing that Mary Carrillo, I think, says with fangs. The tennis player needs fangs to be able to put matches away, and I think, you know, the big 3, they all have that. So we do have 30 love for Khachanov on his serve at the moment. It could be the first game on the board for Khachanov. John asking, what does Nadal have to do to beat Djokovic? Well, it's Nadal at Roland Garros, so he's beaten him here before. Of course, obviously, in the previous edition of Roland Garros, Djokovic did get the better of Nadal, and arguably what was one of the best sets of tennis I've ever seen. Nadal just has to be Nadal. I mean, of course, we got to hope that his injury is not bad. He needs to play his absolute best to try and, you know, offset the effect of that injury. It's going to be, I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tight one. And I think if Alcaraz does come through this match, and he's going to want a tough battle between Nadal and Djokovic. Of course, Alcaraz would need to beat Zverev in that quarterfinal as well to reach the semi-final against one of those two. But I think Alcaraz versus either Djokovic or Nadal is going to be incredible if he does get through this match. I mean, it looks likely at the moment, but we'll see. It's 5 sets, so there are 3 yet to be played potentially. So we have Alcaraz serving now at love 1. So yes, Novak is the youngest of the big 3, of course, Federer being the oldest. Hopefully we'll be seeing Federer return to the tour later in this year at Basel and at the Lever Cup. So we have, at the moment, it's an extended rally from the two, but in the end, the backhand from Carlos goes into the net, finds the bottom of the net, actually, and it is love 15. So Khachanov does get the first point on the serve of Carlos Alcaraz. Tom saying Novak would have taken the vaccination if it was plant-based. Oh, gosh, yeah, it's a controversial thing, isn't it, about the match, about the vaccination. You know, I believe he should get vaccinated, honestly. I know it's supposed to be unbiased here, but I think it was the right decision from Australia. Yeah, it's a strange one with Novak and his diet, really. He's made some strange claims, in terms of being able to change the properties of water with his mind and so on. So it's sometimes a bit, you wonder what to read into the whole diet thing. I honestly don't think it's the reason why he is the best, the best player in the world right now, arguably second best to Carlos. But yeah, not all the top players are on a diet like Novak, so it's what works for him. And yeah, wonder if he will, I'm curious to see if he will take the vaccination in the future. I think, again, it'll depend maybe what the rules for the US Open are. At the moment, we're not sure whether they will allow him to play because he is unvaccinated. Sorry, when I don't know why they're not showing the match on Tennis Channel. I really could not tell you. I have it on Eurosport here. And I believe it's on Prime Video in France as well. But apologies that there's not a video for you there. Hopefully this live stream will help you follow along, even if my video is a little bit behind the live scoreboard. So I do apologize for that. So it is 40-15 on the Alcaraz serve. Khachanov taking the first game of the set. So Alcaraz will be looking to get his first game on the board of this third set. So we have Alcaraz serving at 40-15. And it's a great serve, but Khachanov gets the return in play, but Alcaraz is there. He's up to the net. He's hitting the short ball, and Khachanov can't get to it. And it is 1 game all. So I was asking for opinions on Goff versus Stevens. That's going to be a really, really exciting match, I think. The two of them in great form at the moment. We have Sloane Stevens, who just thrashed Jill Teichmann 6-2, 6-love. She was looking really, really good. And Goff as well. I believe she bageled Elisa Mertens in their match. So it's going to be a really exciting match between those two. Of course, one of them with a great chance of getting through to that final. So I'm going to play a little video for you now. We are partnered with a new app. It's called A-Peak Tennis, and it's all about the mental side of the sport and how, if you're playing a player maybe ranked higher than you, how to get into that mindset to try and get the win in that game. So it's a really good app, and you get a free trial as well if you sign up for it. So have a look here. It's called A-Peak Tennis.
I'm the most guilty of playing freely during practice, but then going to pieces during the match and playing very passively. This new app by A-Peak Tennis, it changed the game. 1 session and I was already hitting with more controlled aggression on the court.
If you spend 5 to 15 minutes of focused time utilizing A-Peak Tennis, then over time you will expand your mental skills and start playing great during competition. A-Peak Tennis is led by a legendary and world-renowned performance psychologist, Dr. Jim Layer, who helped 17 athletes become world number ones, including Novak Djokovic, Andre Agassi, Jim Courier, Monica Seles, and Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. At A-Peak, their mission is to make mental training accessible and affordable. For less than $6 a month, billed annually, you can start winning more matches and enjoy the game in the process. Plus, this offer comes with an additional 7-day free trial. So if you are unhappy, you can cancel for free. A-Peak Tennis is already used by so many top US college teams and top players. Tennis is full of fine margins. With A-Peak Tennis, it does give you the competitive advantage.
A-Peak Tennis. Take care of up there.
So you rejoin us. Alcaraz has a break point on the serve of Karen Khachanov. It was a brilliant rally in the end with the ball from Khachanov just about clipping the top of the net and not making it over. So it is a break point to Carlos. I know I was saying, thanks for clarifying. So the USA, Peacock has the rights to show the live night matches, and then the Tennis Channel will show the replay. So I hope that helps for you guys if watching from the US, and you can watch it from Eurosport here in Europe. And it is the break of serve from Carlos Alcaraz. He gives a fist pump to his box. Juan Carlos Ferrero's coach is happy with that. We're down for the change of ends at 2-1, the break of serve for Carlos Alcaraz.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So, of course, we have that Sloane Stephens and Coco Gauff quarterfinal in the bottom half of the women's draw. Of course, the other quarterfinal will be Leylah Fernandez versus Martina Trevisan. And as Drem points out, that's going to be a very short match. So we have Leylah is, of course, quite short, but Trevisan is only 5'3". So that gives me some hope, actually. I'm only 5'2", and I'm still convinced that that is the only reason I did not make it as a professional tennis player. It's again quite a wide open bottom half of the draw, but I think Sloane Stephens versus Coco Gauff, especially, most people would have taken that before they saw the draw. So I think it's ended up being pretty good. Leylah Fernandez, of course, obviously the finalist at the US Open last year, losing out to Emma Raducanu. She beat Amanda Anisimova today in 3 sets, so we will see. Trevisan coming through against Alexandra Sasnovich, who previously taken out Raducanu and Kerber in this tournament as well. So let's see how the top half of the women's draw plays out tomorrow, and while the quarterfinal lineups are decided. So Alcaraz here, he has the break in the third set. He's taken the first two, 6-1, 6-4. So it's a long road back now for Khachanov. He's down a break in the third set, and it is 15-love to Carlos. Another clarification here. So thank you. French TV can apparently only show the daytime matches. So yes, Amazon Prime have the rights to the 9 p.m. match. Yeah, it's pretty confusing with the rights here and for this tournament. Again, the rights in the UK, they've changed as well. They used to be on terrestrial TV here, and now you have to subscribe to Eurosport or like it's Peacock or Prime. I think there needs to be maybe a bit more unity. I'm a big fan of the Prime Video. Again, with this Eurosport stream, they're always a little bit behind what is actually live. I mean, I'm at 30-love now currently, Alcaraz, but as you can see on the live scoreboard, he has taken that game 3-1. But I will give you the comments and watch along according to my video here. I do apologize that it's a little bit behind, but it is 40-love to Carlos Alcaraz on his serve. He is up a break against Karen Khachanov. Let's see if he can get a game to love here. It's a great first serve down the tee from Alcaraz. It is a game to love. And it is a consolidation of the previous break in that game with Khachanov. John, love this GTL crew tennis player rankings. I'm gonna show that to JG and Ben, and I'm gonna get that framed. So we have Khachanov serving down 1-3 in this third set. I'm saying Anisimova was in really bad form. Yeah, that match against Muchova was really, really sad to watch for Muchova, actually, because she was winning. I believe she won the first set on a tiebreak, and then she took a fall, rolled her ankle, and it was really hard to watch. But yeah, Anisimova coming through that after the retirement of Muchova there, and she didn't play brilliantly against Leylah Fernandez. I know it was 3 sets, but it wasn't a great day at the office there for Anisimova. So I think, well, it could be a tough one for Fernandez against Trevisan, who, she's been playing very, very good this tournament, but I think, she'll be pretty happy with the draw, looking at that. And, she has a chance to possibly make another Grand Slam final here. So it is 30-love on the Khachanov serve. He is down a break in this third set. And it's a forehand return from Alcaraz. Oh, Khachanov goes for the drop shot, but Carlos is there and he gets the passing shot, and it's a lovely little passing shot there. Khachanov can't do anything about that, and it is 30-15. when thinking Rafa has spent. Yeah, I think that 5-set match against Auger Aliassime earlier today, has to have taken it out of him very, very much. And you question if you'll have enough in the tank for the Djokovic match. But like I've said so many times, it's Rafa at Roland Garros. If he can do it anywhere, he can do it here. Saying the match will finish in less than 2 hours. It looks like it'll be finished in definitely less than 2 hours. We've got 1 hour and 32 on the clock at the moment. Alcaraz up the break in the third set. Although he does attempt a drop shot there and it goes into the net. And so it is 40-15 to Karen Khachanov. So I'm saying Monica Seles, was the best women's player of all time. Oh, absolutely. Up there. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I would, I don't know who I would say is the best women's player of all time, because I think there are so many different factors at play. But if of course, go on the Grand Slams, you have to say Serena. But it's with the different years. Yeah, Monica Seles was definitely one of the best. Tom thinking Karen will take it to a fourth at least. He's going to have to claw that break back. Alcaraz, he seems to be in control of this at the moment. I thought it was a very good first serve, but I believe it's just gone wide. So we'll have a second serve for Khachanov. It's a forehand return cross-court from Alcaraz. Khachanov with the backhand down the line, but Carlos digs it out, and it's a forehand cross-court from Khachanov. We're going backhand to back, and it's a lovely little slice from Alcaraz. Khachanov with the drop shot. Alcaraz is there, though, but he goes for the shot down the line, and he pushes it wide, and it is the game for Khachanov. So he avoids at least a double break for now. It is 3-2. Alcaraz in this third set took the first 2 sets 6-1 and 6-4. So he's potentially on his way to a quarterfinal meeting with Alexander Zverev. I think Steffi won 22 slams by age 30 and retired. If she plays to age 40 like Serena, I think she would have won more than 23. Exactly, the players retiring at a much earlier age in previous years than they do now. It's kind of mind-boggling to think how many she could have won if she had carried on playing. Hopefully, we will see Serena back playing at a competitive level. Of course, I think she's pretty much would be unranked by now, and it'd be interesting to see if she does choose to play Wimbledon. I think Serena has a special relationship with Wimbledon. I think she has teased in the past that she possibly will play this Wimbledon, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, it's going to be interesting what players do decide to play at Wimbledon this year. Yeah, Alcaraz looks impossible. Yeah, when this kid is playing, I say when he's on, but he's almost always on. Even when he's playing badly, he seems to find a way to win, which is, a characteristic of the big three. That I think that's a really telling factor of how good this guy can be. That even when he's playing well, he finds a way. Not playing well, he finds a way to win. And it's a great little drop shot from Karen Khachanov here on the serve of Alcaraz, and it is love 15. So Karen gets the first point. Of course, saying Carlos is top 15 all time already. Yeah, hard to argue, really. It's so excited to see how he's going to end up. Do you think, how many Grand Slams could this kid win? It's crazy. If he could win a first one this year at 19, he's going to be up there, absolutely. And if he doesn't have a big three to contend with, like Rafa, Djokovic, and Federer all had each other pushing each other, it will be interesting. Again, maybe the big three, of course, they probably all would have won more if the others didn't exist. But I also think that it did help each other to push each other in a way. So it'll be interesting if somebody does step up. If Carlos Alcaraz does take the shoes of the big three, if another player does step up to try and join him up there. You've got the likes of Tsitsipas, Sinner, Rublev, Ruud. it's, it'll be a sad day when the big three retire, but I think we can see that tennis is in good hands with players like this. But it is love 30 on the Alcaraz serve right now. It's not going to plan in this game. Khachanov is going to try and dig it out, and as a looping ball goes wide from Alcaraz, and it is love 40. So it's a rare chance here for, Khachanov has 3 break points on the Alcaraz serve. So some real chance here for Khachanov to get back into this match. If he can get the break back here, this set is anyone's game. Yeah, saying he's physically mature beyond his teenage years. Absolutely. If you even think about how Carlos looked a year ago, if you watch back his matches, physically he's a different beast now. And I also think he's a very mature person as well. I think his tennis head is there, and he's definitely beyond his teenage years. So Alcaraz saves one of the break points. It is 15-40. It's a backhand return of serve from Khachanov, but Alcaraz wrong foots Khachanov going the wrong way, and it is 30-40. That is 2 break points saved. Can he convert on the 3rd break point? So Alcaraz with break point number 3 against his serve. And the first serve is long, so it will be a second serve to look at for Khachanov. And the second serve is good. Khachanov gets a backhand return cross court in play. It's a forehand from Alcaraz, backhand to backhand. And Alcaraz's forehand, it's a good forehand, but Khachanov is there, and Alcaraz's response to that is long, and Khachanov does get the break back. Well, who saw that coming? Khachanov claws the break back, and suddenly we're at 3 games apiece in this 3rd set.
Karen Khachanov. Karen Khachanov.
So we do have Khachanov serving at 3-all now. First serve is good. We have a forehand return from Alcaraz. It's in play. It's looping forehand, so Khachanov takes it. It's down the middle of the court so far. It's a backhand from Alcaraz, forehand from Khachanov. We're now cross court to cross court. Oh, it's a forehand down the line from Khachanov. Alcaraz, it's a beautiful shot. Khachanov would come into the net. Alcaraz hits it, and Khachanov just can't get a racket to it. It's right at his feet. And Alcaraz gets the first point on the serve of Khachanov. It is love 15. So you're all debating here in the chat about players that could come up and to sort of join Alcaraz at the top of the game once the big 3 leaves. So we have American players or Italian players. So you have, with your Italian players, there's great depth in the Italian tennis. We have Musetti and Sinner, like King just saying here, coming through. Especially Sinner, he's doing extremely well. Musetti took the first 2 sets against Tsitsipas in that first round, but lost in 5. And then, of course, Americans, you have the likes of Korda and Fritz. Tommy Paul, I suppose, could be one of the ones that are coming through. But, I think Korda is probably the most exciting prospect for the Americans in the men's side. So it is 15-all on the Khachanov serve. Forehand return from Carlos Alcaraz by forehand to forehand. And it's a lovely length there from Khachanov. And Alcaraz's ball is into the net, so it is 30-15. Yeah, Apelka is there as well. I don't know. I think Apelka, again, I think he's, I suppose has had a great career as well, but I think it's limited in the rest of his game. Apelka, obviously, he's got that great serve, and he is, he's proven he can play on, especially on the clay. He did win a clay court title coming into this. But I think in terms of, an all-round game, I think Korda for me is the one American that is the most sort of exciting. But I think the Italian players, for sure. Again, I've said I'm a big fan of Yannick Sinner. And of course, hopefully Matteo Berrettini, who's out with injury at the moment, but he's a great watch as well. He made the Wimbledon final last year, so hopefully he can come back to full fitness as well. So we are at 30 all on the serve of Khachanov. So Alcaraz is going to look to take a break here, get that break back. And a break here, of course, could potentially be it for Khachanov. And it's a double fault from Khachanov. He's frustrated. He's not happy with that enforced error. And it is 30-40. So it is a break point to Carlos Alcaraz. So serving, facing a break point is Khachanov. It's a good serve. It's a backhand return from Alcaraz is good. We are now backhand to backhand cross court. Oh, the backhand is just on the line from Alcaraz, so we're still going. It's a forehand cross court from Khachanov. It's a lovely, powerful forehand from Alcaraz. He comes into the net, but Khachanov gets the passing shot, and he is roaring at the crowd. He loves it. They love it. They're trying to get behind him, I think. And it is deuce. So he was a little bit unlucky with the net called there on the side of Carlos Alcaraz, but Khachanov was there and got the passing shot up. It was, beautiful backhand passing shot there. Alcaraz can't get onto it. So we have another break point chance. Advantage, Carlos. So I have a stat here from Gary. When 2012 began, Grand Slam count was Roger 16, Rafa 9, and Nole 1. That's crazy to think. I still can't believe that 2012 was 10 years ago, to be honest. But that's crazy. 1 for Novak back in 2012. That's pretty crazy. So Roger's won just the 4 Grand Slams since 2012. It's a great stat. Thanks for that. So we are at advantage, Carlos Alcaraz. Oh, it's a great leg there from Alcaraz. Khachanov digs it back up. Alcaraz is at the net. He hits the drop shot. Khachanov does get then. It's a tweener from Carlos that is into the corner of the court. Is beautiful. And there's nothing Khachanov can do about that. And Alcaraz does get the break of serve back. It is 4-3 to Carlos Alcaraz. He is up a break once again in this third set.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So that was 2011, so not far off. But that is crazy to think. Say Roger turned 30 in 2011, so not that surprising. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy to think that he was 30 all the way back in 2011, but hopefully we can still see him come back. He seems to be saying that the rehab is going well. So I don't think a Grand Slam is really a possibility for Roger. As sad as that makes me to say it, but you never know. It's Roger Federer, of course. Maybe at Wimbledon. He thinks Djokovic will win all 3 remaining this year. So, that depends if he will be allowed to play the US Open, of course. But he's got a chance. He has got a chance, and that would take him to the top of the race. But he has to get through Nadal first in that quarterfinal here at Roland Garros. So we have Alcaraz here serving. He's up a break in this third set. It is 4-3. I think Tom down here hoping for an Andy Roddick comeback and an Andre Agassi. Wouldn't that be nice? But don't see that happening somehow. So we have Alcaraz here. He's coming into the net. It's a lobbed up from Khachanov. Tries to go over the head of Alcaraz, but it is long. And so Alcaraz gets the first point. It is 15-love. I mean, pretty much summing it up, really. I'm not really a fan of Djokovic either, but you know, you've got to respect his game, regardless of whether you're a fan, because you know he is incredible. But yeah, more of a Rafa and a Federer fan myself. But yeah, you can't count out what Djokovic has achieved. He is, he's the best in the world. He's number one right now. I'm saying if Carlos wins this slam, we're entering a new paradigm in tennis for sure. Absolutely. And I honestly think he really could win this slam. I think he's got a good chance as Rafa or Novak. Obviously, he would have to beat one of them. But he's done it. He's done it on clay this year. He did it back to back. So yeah, it's possible, but it is. I think it would be, you don't want to say changing of the guard and all that, but it's hard to see it as any other way, really. So we do have a game point for Carlos Alcaraz now. It is 40-15. Can he consolidate the break? Tom asking what happened to Dominic Thiem. Breaks my heart to see what happened to Thiem, really, with that injury and his loss here at Roland Garros and the kind of the losing streak that he's been on. It's really a long road back for Thiem, especially having seen him win that Grand Slam at the US Open, beating Zverev. And I really thought there were more Grand Slams in Thiem, especially at Roland Garros, being a finalist here previously, more than once. Yeah, it's really hard to see Dominic Thiem the way he is right now with that injury. So it is, well, what looked like was going to be a consolidation of that break. It is now at deuce for Carlos Alcaraz. So Djokovic had 2 slams and then he had the 2008 Australian Open and 2011 Wimbledon. Yeah, so Carlos would only need to beat one of Rafa and Djokovic, or Rafa and Djokovic need to beat both. Right, yeah, exactly. So, of course, you have one quarterfinal would be Rafa and Djokovic. The other, if Carlos does come through this match, it would be Carlos and Zverev. So Carlos would only have to beat one of them in the final. Whereas, Djokovic or Nadal would have to beat the other and then Alcaraz as well. So it is a tough prospect for them. I think Alcaraz does have the advantage in that sense, and of course, youth on his side as well. But it's going to be a very, very interesting final if we do get Carlos Alcaraz versus either Nadal or Djokovic, and they'll be probably wanting revenge for what happened in Madrid where he beat them both. So of course Carlos would have to beat Zverev in his quarterfinal, so we can't get too ahead of ourselves. But we saw how the Madrid final played out. Alcaraz, it wasn't a match between him and Zverev, really. He thrashed him, so I don't think Alcaraz would be too worried about the prospect of Zverev in the next round for place in the semi. So we are at deuce on the serve of Carlos Alcaraz. He previously broke the serve of Khachanov, so he's going to look to try to consolidate that break for a 5-3 game advantage in this third set, already up 2 sets to love. But this service game just got a little bit trickier for Carlos. But he's at the net here, and he puts a smash, but he doesn't put it away, and Khachanov gets it back. We're now rallying backhand to backhand cross court. Carlos goes down the line with the backhand, but Khachanov is there. And again, we've got a nice length on the forehand from Alcaraz, but Khachanov gets it. It's a beautiful angle, though, from Alcaraz. Khachanov hits the ball round the net. What a rally. Khachanov gets this angle. There's a beautiful cross-court acute angle from Alcaraz. Khachanov hits the ball back into court around the net post, but Carlos gets it back, and it is advantage to Alcaraz. That was an incredible rally. Let's not forget Medvedev. Absolutely not. Medvedev, again, I'm a big fan of Daniil Medvedev. He was number 1 very recently, and he's doing very well right now. And very out of the blue, I think we all know that clay is not Medvedev's favorite surface, and yeah, he's still going strong. I don't believe he's dropped a set yet in this tournament, so he is one to watch out for. He might be secretly thinking, I can't play Wimbledon, so Maybe he's going to try and make up for it here. Thompson, is Andy Murray part of the big four? Absolutely. No question, in my opinion. Of course, there is the big three, but there is, in my opinion, there is a big four. And, Andy Murray, his achievements incredible. 2 Olympic golds, 2 Wimbledon, US Open, world number 1. Yeah, I'm a strong believer in the big four. I know there is a gap between the 3 and the 4, but it's Murray. And seeing what he's doing on a metal hip is just insane. So this game is still going on. It's a tricky one now for Alcaraz. He looked like he was going to close it out, but it's back at deuce again. So the second serve is good. We have a forehand return from Khachanov. We have forehand to forehand. Oh, the backhand down the line from Khachanov is just wide, and so it is advantage to Alcaraz. So Capcom say Medvedev is overperforming. Be interesting to see how far he goes. Semi-final wouldn't surprise you. Yeah, exactly. He's definitely overperforming. I think he's outdoing everyone's expectations at this Roland Garros. Not liking clay, but I wouldn't be surprised if he made it to the semi-final. I mean, of course, he's studying on Medvedev. You saw how far he pushed Rafa in that Australian Open final, and he won the US Open last year. So I think it's great to see him doing well on clay. Is it really a big 5 with Andy and Stan? Yeah. I think for me, I'd say, honestly, I think it's more of a big 4, but Stan is definitely that number 5. I mean, Stan you think what he potentially could have achieved if it wasn't for the big 3. He's won his a number of slams. So Stan is up there, but for me, I would put Andy Murray as the 4th for sure. I'm saying, why is there no big 3, women's big 3? Exactly. The women's game it's very, very different. I mean, we've had Barty dominating. We have Swiatek at the moment. There really isn't sort of a rivalry right now that there used to be in previous eras. I'd love to see sort of some keen rivalries develop at the moment. Like, I think Iga Swiatek on Jabeur is a great matchup that I love to watch, and I'd love to see that become a rivalry. But at the moment, I think there's just so much breadth and depth in the women's game that it's hard to see any sort of big 3 type thing coming in the era that we're in now. So Carlos there does save the break point from Khachanov, and it is back at deuce. So mentally strong is Carlos Alcaraz. Oh, Alcaraz wants to have a look at this serve here. It's been called wide, and the umpire's down and having a look, and he just confirms that it is just wide, so it will be a second serve at deuce for Carlos. I want Naomi to get her confidence back. Osaka versus Egon hardcourts could be special. That would be great. I mean, yeah, it's tough to watch Naomi Osaka at the moment, and the way she slipped down the rankings. We know clay and grass, it's not her favorite surface, as opposed to Iga, who has won Roland Garros already and looks to be the favorite to win this one as well. But Osaka versus peak Iga on a hard court would be an incredible thing to watch. Hopefully Osaka can get back there. So it is advantage to Carlos Alcaraz right now. It is a backhand to backhand cross court rally, but the backhand there is wide from Alcaraz, and he's frustrated with himself. We are back at deuce. Capricorn saying, I'd love to see a Madison Keys versus Iga Swiatek semi-final. Keys is playing well right now. I think she's sort of a bit under the radar this year's Roland Garros, but she recently just beat Elena Rybakina in 3 sets to get her place in the next round. So that could be, a big hitting semi-final if it was to happen. Madison Keys, of course, we know how well she can play when she's on, but she's not really been able to put it together for long enough to take a slam. She reached the US Open final, but she really didn't play well there against Sloane Stephens. But Madison Keys at her best would be very good to see against Iga. So the umpire coming down again to check a mark. Khachanov's not convinced, but it has gone in the way of Carlos Alcaraz, and it is advantage to the Spaniard, as Hawkeye confirms that the ball from Khachanov was just wide. So we have Alcaraz serving. The first serve is long, so it will be a second serve. Gary saying there was a big four back in the day: Everton, Navratilova, Selic, and Graf. That was an incredible era, and yeah, I wish that I could have enjoyed that era, as it happened. Yeah, an incredible rivalries with all four of them, and they were, yeah, incredible players. And I'd love to see something like that come back again. I really would, but at the moment, it's hard to look past the domination of Iga Swiatek. So Alcaraz does take the break, the consolidation. He consolidates the break, and he is just a game away from a place in the quarterfinal.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
So we have Karen Khachanov serving at 3-5. He is serving to stay in this match. He's already down 2 sets to love, but he gets the first point on his serve. It is 15 love. Some of you, they're hoping for a 5-set win for Khachanov. Saying, come on, Karen, finish Alcaraz off. Just 3 more sets, maybe take it to 5. But as Capricorn says, Carlitos is incredibly dominant, and he is. It's crazy for this. He's a 19-year-old, and like we said, it is reminiscent of Rafa at that age. We know Carlos is his own player, and we need to try and not put that comparison out there too much and let him develop into his own player. But it is hard to see past that domination. So it is 15 all, and we have a second serve for Khachanov. It's good. There's a forehand cross-court return from Alcaraz with a bit of power on it. And we're now backhand to backhand. There's a forehand cross-court from Alcaraz. It's a bullet of a forehand. It's a beautiful angle. I'd love to see what the speed was on that. And it is 15-30. So here we have half chance for Alcaraz to get this done on the serve of Khachanov. Khachanov, of course, will want to make Alcaraz serve this match out. Francis wanting Alcaraz to finish Karen off here. He may well. Oh, but it's Khachanov comes into the net there, and it's a lovely little shot. Alcaraz can't get to it. It is 30 all. So Khachanov could be forcing Alcaraz to serve out this match. So we have Khachanov serving at 30 all. It's getting to the business end of this set now. Oh, I can put a business end banner on for you. So he is serving at 30 all, and the second serve is good. We have a forehand return from Alcaraz. Backhand cross court. Oh, it's a great length there and a great angle from Khachanov with the backhand cross court, and Alcaraz just looks at it like, no, I could not do anything about that. It is 40-30. So we are a point away from forcing Alcaraz to serve out this match. Gary saying he saw Everton Connor's entire careers. I'm jealous of that, to be honest. Not embarrassing yourself with age. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen that era. But again, I feel extremely privileged to be growing up in the Big Three era, so I can't complain. I have no idea what Tennis Channel was thinking not showing this match. It's Carlos Alcaraz. This could be the potential opponent for Nadal or Djokovic. It's beyond me. But hopefully I'm doing a good job for you here, trying to bring you through this match. I know you might not be able to watch it, but I'll do my best to bring you to what is looking like the conclusion of this match. But Khachanov may be able to save it here. We are at deuce on his serving to stay in this match. Second serve is good, and Alcaraz comes into the net. It's a lovely little volley. Khachanov lobs it, and Carlos is running back. He manages to get it over the net, and Khachanov comes back into the net. Carlos attempts the passing shot, but it is long, and so we do have advantage to Khachanov. So Khachanov really, this is his last chance, I suppose, to stay in the match. If he does get broken here, of course, it will be game, set, and match to Carlos Alcaraz. We do have the advantage, however, for Khachanov. The first serve is long, so it will be a second serve. Second serve is good. We have a backhand return cross court from Alcaraz. Alcaraz comes into the net from a drop shot from Khachanov, but he serves him up a drop shot of his own. And then it's a lovely little volley. And again, Alcaraz is still alive in this game. It is back to deuce. That was a lovely little rally. It was a nice drop shot from Khachanov, but Carlos gave him a bit of his own medicine there. And yeah, nothing he could do about that. And Khachanov just about got it on the just before the second bounce, but Alcaraz with the easy volley put away. So we have Khachanov first serve at deuce. The first serve is gone down the tee, but it is wide, so it will be a second serve. Welcome back to HA, but yeah, you're having dinner and it's almost over. Yeah, Alcaraz is, well, he's just put a ball into the net there, so it will be advantage to Khachanov, and Alcaraz is furious. But yeah, it is a speedy match. Almost 3 sets in just 2 hours. So Khachanov, again, he's had a few points to take this game, but Alcaraz keeps bringing it back to deuce, so he will serve again with the advantage. Alcaraz with the drop shot, and I think that has gone long from Khachanov. Khachanov at the net there, trying to get the drop shot out, and it was long. It is back to deuce we go. Yeah, still saying can't fail for another deuce. He just cannot. He can get the advantage, but he cannot close this game out. Alcaraz is just, he's like a dog at the bone. He just will not give up a game. That's what makes him so special, I think. So we have the first serve from Khachanov. It's long, so it will be a second serve again. So the second serve is good. We have a backhand return from Alcaraz. We are backhand to backhand. The backhand down the line from Carlos, but the return is good from Khachanov. Oh, it's a lovely little backhand jumping from Khachanov. And Carlos gets it back, and Khachanov's shot is wide, and we do have match point.
Match point.
So it is advantage to Alcaraz. Match point for a place in the quarterfinal. First serve is good. There's a backhand return from Alcaraz. We are backhand to backhand. Backhand down the line. Khachanov digs it out. It's a backhand cross court from Alcaraz, and it would have been a winner, but it clips the top of the net, and it goes wide, and we are back at deuce. This is an extended game, and yeah, it's been 7 minutes and 21 seconds, as it says on the clock here. Khachanov just can't seem to put this game away. So we are at deuce. Khachanov with the first serve. The serve is good. We have a forehand cross-court return from Alcaraz. Khachanov's ball, he goes for the drop shot, but I think it's gone wide. And it is advantage to Alcaraz once again. Once again, we have a match point.
Match point.
So let's see if Alcaraz can convert his second match point. Khachanov here with the first serve. And it is out. So it will be a second serve to look at as well on match point. The second serve is good. It's down the tee. We have a forehand dig out from Carlos. It's a lovely angle on the cross court from Khachanov, but Carlos digs it up. He comes into the net. But Khachanov with the lob. The lob is good. Alcaraz cannot get there. And Khachanov saves yet another match point. It is back at deuce. Capricorn here saying that no one's talking about Sloane Stephens, but she's handed out 2 bagels already. She did, yeah, especially today in her match against Jill Teichmann. She served up a bagel in that second set, won the first 6-2. And in that second set, she actually only lost 3 points in the entire set, which is incredible. So Sloane Stephens, she's going to be one to watch. Plays Coco Gauff next in the quarterfinals. So she loves it here in Paris, Sloane, on the clay at Roland Garros. So it's hard to pick someone else making the final. If Sloane plays the way that she is now, hard to pick someone else making the final from that bottom half of the draw. So we are now back again at match point for Alcaraz. The game has been going for 9.5 minutes now.
Match point.
So it is advantage to Carlos. The first serve from Khachanov was good on the tee, but the return is also good from Carlos. Khachanov coming into the net, but the ball doesn't go across from Alcaraz, and we are again back at deuce. This game is going to go well beyond 10 minutes. So Karen, again, he's fought off. This is, well, I don't even know how many deuces this has been. It's a 10-minute game. And Khachanov, the serve is good, and he comes into the net for the serve and volley, but he nets it. And it is once again match point to Carlos Alcaraz.
Match point.
Carlos must have a taxi waiting. It sure seems like it. If he can convert this here, I think at straight sets win would be very good for him. Especially Zverev. Okay, he did have a 3-set straight set win earlier, but he was pushed in each of those sets. So it would be Sasha Zverev, Chris, who Alcaraz would play next if he were to come through this match. But Khachanov has again saved another match point, and it is back at deuce. So the first serve is long from Khachanov, so it will be a second serve. And the second serve is good. We have a backhand cross-court return from Alcaraz. Oh, it's a lovely angle backhand cross-court from Alcaraz. And he goes for the drop shot, and Khachanov can't even run for it. It is a beautiful drop shot. It is once again match point advantage Alcaraz.
Match point.
So this game has now been going on for 11 minutes and 40 seconds. It's Alcaraz. Well, Alcaraz can't seem to put the match away, and Khachanov can't seem to get an advantage on his side. And we have a ball here that's gone long from Carlos, and it is deuce once again. So can Khachanov avoid losing the match here in this game on his serve? So the first serve it's a great first serve. Carlos Alcaraz gets it back, but the ball goes wide, and it is advantage to Khachanov finally. This is a lengthy game, now over 12 minutes. Yeah, drop shot master at 19 years old. It's crazy, like the bravery he has with those drop shots as well. He's fearless with them, and they're beautiful. He's got beautiful touch, and it's a great first serve from Khachanov. The ball is into the net from Alcaraz. He does hold. He avoids losing the match there on his own serve. It is still a break to Carlos Alcaraz, but it is 5-4. So Khachanov holds on in a really lengthy service game.
Karim Khachanov. Karim Khachanov.
So Carlos Alcaraz in a moment will attempt to serve out this match. He is up a break in the third set. He took the first 2 sets, 6-1 and 6-4 against Russia's Karen Khachanov. And this is for a place in the quarterfinals at Roland Garros. And awaiting the winner of this match will be Sasha Zverev, who took out today qualifier Zapata Miralles. So we are at the change of ends at the moment. We're waiting for Carlos Alcaraz to come up and serve. So we are potentially a game away for deciding our quarterfinalist here at Roland Garros. It is 5-4 to Carlos Alcaraz. Ari, unfortunately, I cannot give I can't broadcast the match or give you the link. I know that you can catch it on Eurosport or on Prime Video in France or on Peacock, I think, in the US, but I do not have a link to the match, and I don't believe that Tennis Channel are showing it for some crazy reason. So apologies. I will have to try and take you through it here the best that I can. So first serve is good. No, it isn't. It is long. So it will be a second serve for Alcaraz here, serving for the match at 5-4. Second serve is good. We have a forehand return from Khachanov, backhand cross court from Alcaraz, for backhand down the line from Khachanov. We're now going through the middle of the court. But the forehand from Alcaraz is long, and Khachanov does get the first point on the Alcaraz serve, and he is getting the crowd going. He's feeling it now. And yeah, like you say, I think Khachanov may be getting into Alcaraz's head, after that, coming through that last game. It's, he's got 15 on the serve of Alcaraz. So Alcaraz is going to have to be really strong mentally here now to try and serve this out. First serve is into the net from Alcaraz, so will be a second serve to look at. And the second serve is good. We have a backhand cross-court return from Khachanov. Oh, it's a lovely forehand down the line from Alcaraz. Khachanov lobs the ball up, but it's an easy put away for Carlos. Oh, but Khachanov does get a racket to it, and Alcaraz does have to do a second put away at the net, but he does get it, and he gives a big vamos, a big fist pump, and it is 15-all. Alcaraz is feeling this now. He really wants to close this match out here on his serve. We have 2 hours and 13 minutes on the clock. Alcaraz serving at 15-all. The first serve is good. We have a forehand return from Khachanov. It's a forehand cross-court from Alcaraz. Forehand down the line now. It's a loopy ball, but it's in. And Khachanov gets the forehand again. Forehand to forehand. Oh, but it's another bullet from Alcaraz. He hits the forehand cross court. Again, I'd love to see the speed on that one. It's a huge forehand. Lovely angle. And it is 30-15. Nothing Khachanov could do about that. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot from Alcaraz. Under pressure, he can just produce. It is crazy. So we are serving here at 30-15. First serve is good. We have a forehand return from Khachanov. Oh, but the backhand slice from Khachanov is long, and we are again at match point, this time on the serve of Carlos Alcaraz.
Match point.
It is 40-15. Carlos Alcaraz to serve. And the first serve is good. We have... Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, it's a let, I believe. I'm just excited for Rune versus Tsitsipas. That should be a good one. That's on tomorrow. So Alcaraz serving at 40-15. And the first serve is long, so we will get a second serve. Here we go, 40-15, second serve. And it's good. We have a backhand return from from Khachanov, I apologize. And Alcaraz comes into the net, but Khachanov cannot get the ball over the net. It is the game to Alcaraz. It is the match to Alcaraz. He does it in straight sets. It's a nice moment at the net between the two. But Alcaraz does it 6-1, 6-4, 6-4. It's a great straight sets win for Carlos Alcaraz. He comes to the court. He spreads his arms. He's loving this. The crowd are loving this. He deserved it. He played really, really well. And he will be facing Alexander Zverev for a place in the quarterfinal. He defeats Karen Khachanov in straight sets in the fourth round to make it through to the quarterfinal. It's a really strong match from Carlos Alcaraz. And for one last time, I think I will give you the Carlos Alcaraz button.
Vamos, Carlos Alcaraz. 1, 2, 3, vamos. Vamos. Carlos Alcaraz. Vamos.
Vamos, Carlitos. So Carlos Alcaraz is through to the quarterfinal at Roland Garros. He wins in straight sets, 6-1, 6-4, 6-4. Thank you, everybody, for watching with me. I hope I've managed to bring this stream to you since you haven't been able to watch it live, a lot of you. And hopefully you will be watching me on a few more streams as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And I will see you again very, very soon. We have Carlos Alcaraz winning in 3 sets. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to hit the like button and to subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Good night, everyone.